Greetings, dear viewers, and welcome back to the channel. Today, we'll explore the increasingly complicated issue involving the British royal family, with a particular emphasis on the enormous constraints King Charles is allegedly under because of Prince Andrew and his ongoing ties to the monarchy. It's a delicate subject that affects the institution's core values and public perception. Before we get started, please remember to subscribe to remain up to date on all the most recent royal developments and to give this video a thumbs up if you find it interesting. Prince Andrew's previous connections to the convicted sexual offender Jeffrey Epstein continue to cast a cloud over the Buckingham Palace. As many of you are aware, this association has caused a great deal of controversy and has surely damaged the monarchy's standing in the eyes of many people in the UK and around the world. Even though Prince Andrew has continuously denied any misconduct, the accusations against him have been extremely damaging, making the royal family's public relations situation a continual nightmare. Although it was not an admission of guilt, the settlement he struck with Virginia Joffrey did little to change public opinion. The call for action is now becoming more and more strident in the wake of the latest email incident. King Charles is in a very challenging situation, having to deal with calls to permanently cut off relations with Prince Andrew and Sarah Ferguson, the Duke and Duchess of York, from the British public as well as from within the royal family. It's no longer simply about Andrew. It concerns the need to safeguard the future of the monarchy and the possibility of additional harm to the crown. Regardless of their content, the emails have rekindled the debate and elevated it to the public's attention, compelling the king to address the matter directly. Let's go to the opinions of renowned royal scholar Hilary Ford, who recently gave her perspective to Fox News to better comprehend the heated debates taking place beyond the imposing walls of Buckingham Palace. As stated by the wider family, is not at all unconcerned with what is happening. Miss Ford, "The extended family isn't taking this lightly," she said, quoting, "given recent revelations with mounting media outrage threatening the overall reputation of the monarchy." The seriousness of the situation is reflected in these forceful statements. It's crucial to keep in mind that the royal family is both a company and a family. Andrew's actions clearly jeopardize the value and credibility of their brand, which is everything. Miss Ford went on to say that Prince William, the future monarch and Prince of Wales, is quite unhappy. She asserts that he is actively pushing against Prince Andrew, his uncle, as she puts it. The royal analyst claims that the goal is to make sure Prince Andrew is completely excluded from any upcoming family get-togethers. This would be a major and highly visible separation. William, who is well aware of the necessity to keep the public's support while modernizing the monarchy, views Andrew as a significant barrier to that objective. He probably talks to his father, King Charles, and other family elders as part of his lobbying efforts, highlighting the potential long-term harm that Andrew's presence could do. Miss Ford also gave a sobering warning about the Duke of York's other titles. "Prince William is behind taking away titles after he becomes king," she said. "In the event that Prince William takes the throne, this is a clear sign of what the future holds. Prince Andrew's exclusion from public life would be further cemented if he were to lose his last official ties to the monarchy. The removal of titles is a dramatic step that would show a dedication to maintaining the highest standards of behavior and send a strong message to Andrew and the general public. It is crucial to recognize that, in its official role, Buckingham Palace has thus far refrained from directly commenting on the most recent email issue involving Prince Andrew. Their official position is still that he is no longer a working royal, which may imply that these issues are not directly within their jurisdiction. But the palace's silence doesn't really stop the public discussion and rumors from continuing. Some would even contend that the quiet is deafening, allowing the suspicions and speculation to thrive and possibly harming the monarchy's reputation even more. A lack of leadership and a hesitancy to confront a challenging subject head-on can be inferred from the absence of a clear declaration. King Charles is suddenly the center of attention. According to reports, he has previously taken action to restrict Prince Andrew and Sarah Ferguson's participation in royal functions, most notably by allegedly asking not to attend the customary joyous Sandringham celebrations with the rest of the family. This would be a major change from custom and a direct reflection of the king's apprehensions about their presence. Sandringham is a very symbolic place that symbolizes tradition and family cohesion. Keeping Andrew and Sarah out of these festivities would be a very obvious indication of their declining standing in the royal family. The remaining titles that the Duke of York possesses are the principal subject of the current argument. Even if they've previously been deprived of, in addition to his royal patronages and military connections, Prince Andrew is still the Duke of York, a distinguished title that was given to him on his wedding day in 1998 by his mother, the late Queen Elizabeth II. Now, there are growing calls to deprive him of this title as well, from both the public and members of the royal family. This title, which has been handed down through the centuries, has a strong historical significance and is linked to the monarchy. In the eyes of many, letting Andrew keep it would only serve to justify his behavior and damage the dukedom's standing. The title of Duke of York is more than just a title. Along with it comes a certain level of prestige and historical significance. Removing it from Prince Andrew would be a clear indication of the Duke's position within the royal family, with whom he has been affiliated for centuries. The title has historically belonged to important people in British history, and Andrew's identification with it still causes embarrassment and pain. The dukedom may be linked to a more favorable future figure if the title were removed, breaking that connection. The fact that Sarah Ferguson still lives with Prince Andrew at the Royal Lodge in Windsor Great Park, despite their divorce, only serves to confuse matters. Additionally, she keeps a comparatively high popular figure, frequently making appearances in the media and taking part in a range of humanitarian activities. The matter is further complicated by her ongoing involvement in Prince Andrew's life, as well as her own prior scandals. Even though Sarah Ferguson has put a lot of effort into improving her reputation, her connection to Andrew always brings her back into the spotlight. She finds it challenging to fully escape the shadow of the Duke of York's troubles, because her humanitarian endeavors and media appearances are frequently seen through the prism of their relationship. King Charles is under pressure from a number of sources. He has an obligation to safeguard the reputation, on the one hand, the status of the monarchy, a centuries-old institution that continues to be an essential part of the national character. However, he also has a brother and a son, and in spite of Prince Andrew's previous transgressions, he surely has some regard and loyalty for him. This must be a huge internal struggle. Few people fully comprehend the difficulty of striking a balance between royal duties and familial allegiance. As he handles this difficult circumstance, the burden of tradition and history weighs heavy on his shoulders. Prince Andrew and the future of the monarchy will both be significantly impacted by the king's judgment in this case. Failure to act decisively may result in further undermined public confidence in the organization, whereas a severe reaction would be viewed as excessively punishing and might drive some royal family members away. It's quite high stakes. The stakes are high for the monarchy's survival, relevance, and public relations credentials. The story of the king's reign will be shaped by the years-long scrutiny and analysis of his choice. This circumstance also demonstrates how the monarchy has changed in the 21st century. The royal family is being scrutinized more than ever in a time of growing accountability and transparency. Members of the public are expected to uphold the greatest standards of behavior, and any alleged errors in judgment are swiftly picked up by the media and discussed on social media. The era of blind respect for the royal family is long gone. The public expects its representatives, especially those in the monarchy, to act with ethics, accountability, and transparency. In order to preserve the majesty of the monarchy and address the justifiable concerns of the populace, the king must find a balance between tradition and modernity. It is a delicate balancing act that calls for thoughtful deliberation and astute judgment. He has to embrace the needs of a contemporary, open society while negotiating the difficulties of tradition. This calls for skill and a thorough awareness of what the public expects. It's also critical to take into account the situation's historical background. From the 1936 abdication of Edward VII to Princess Diana's 1997 passing, the British monarchy has experienced many crises and difficulties over the course of its lengthy history. Each of these incidents has put the institution's fortitude to the test and compelled it to change with the times. These historical examples offer important insights and lessons about how the monarchy has handled previous crises. They also act as a reminder of how crucial flexibility and fortitude are when faced with hardship. Prince Andrew's current predicament is only the most recent development in this continuous tale. It serves as a reminder that the king or queen is not above the challenges and disputes of the contemporary world, and that its capacity to preserve the faith and trust of the populace will determine its future. For the monarchy to stay relevant and continue to have popular support, it must constantly change and adapt. This calls for a readiness to accept change and take on challenging problems head-on. Both the general public and royal observers are closely examining King Charles's gestures, or lack thereof. Every handshake, public appearance, and well-crafted statement is examined for hints about the king's motivations and general strategy for handling this challenging circumstance.